What up YouTube, Salvador Brigman here, and today we're talking about how you can use crowdfunding to raise money to finance a new album, to finance a concert that you're trying to put on. Really, if you are a musician in the audience, this is the video for you. And sort of my inspiration for this video is I had on an expert when it comes to musician crowdfunding on my podcast. And this is the Crowdfunding Demystified podcast. You can find it in iTunes. It was episode number 149. I had on the founder of Launch and Release. And he had just put together this completely new ebook called The Artist's Guide to Crowdfunding Domination. And we sort of got to talking, and what I sort of took away from this conversation is there is almost a drastically different experience between two types of creators that raise money on Kickstarter and Indiegogo. So the first type of creators are launching design projects, are launching technology projects, are launching gaming projects. These are the types of creators that are raising 6 and 7 figures. You know, they're having news stories written about them. You really see them in the mainstream media. And then you have this sort of other group of creators on Kickstarter and Indiegogo. And they're raising money for music-related campaigns. They're raising money for theater projects or film-related campaigns. And their experience on the marketplace, on the platform, is very different than the experience of the first type of creators. And the reason here is, when you launch a campaign, an entirely new tabletop game, or an entirely new gadget, you tend to have a lot of backers in the actual Kickstarter marketplace support your campaign. You know, you draw in a lot of these super backers, and strangers are backing your campaign. When you launch a campaign in the music category or in the theater category or another creative category, the majority of your backers come from your first and second degree connections. These are your friends, your family, your fans. It's really used as a tool to reach out to your own network and to sort of monetize any sort of fan base that you've created. And I think that when many musicians first learn that, it can be really disheartening. Like, you've thought all this time that you can use crowdfunding to finance this album or these ticket sales or this new concert that you're putting on, and then you discover, oh, it's just a tool to be able to reach out to my friends, my family, and my fans. And it's sort of a little bit disheartening in that way. You know, it's not like the free money that the media has proclaimed that it is. And I'm here today to tell you that that is not exactly true. You can actually use this entirely new tool to reach your fans in completely new ways. And a lot of you maybe have built up a lot of karma with your own friends and family that you have yet to actually make use of. I honestly think that crowdfunding, having a compelling pitch video, having great reward tiers or perks that people can claim once they back your campaign, having really engaging text below your campaign and cool images, all that kind of stuff paints a picture in the mind of people who can support you. It's a lot different than just asking someone casually for a donation or for them to help you with your music career. You know, it's much more professional and it's much more put together. But as I was talking with the founder of this one website, I also started to realize that on this channel, I've talked about a lot of different things. I've talked about building your email list, I've talked about social media, I've talked about the importance of PR, etc. But I really haven't shared anything new in the way of reaching out to your friends and your family and ways to actually get your campaign funded. You know, my entire existence online is predicated on the fact that I can get people to take action. Until you actually announce something new to the public, until you actually launch that campaign, you don't realize how flaky people really are. Like, flaky in terms of they don't always follow through what they say they're gonna do, they don't always support you, they kind of flake out. And my entire existence online has been based off of the fact that I can get people to take action. So I wanna share 2 tips with you today. The first tip, and the big mistake that I see many musicians making out there, is when they announce a new campaign or even their new album, could be a debut album, they'll try and market it in the way that they've heard marketers talk, or they'll try and announce it on Facebook or another social network and advertise it and post the link everywhere in the way that they've seen marketers do it in some ways. And it kind of makes sense. Like if you see other people shouting about this product, or you see other people announcing and broadcasting this message, you assume, oh, I guess that's how I do marketing. But that is not true. Your friends and your family are connected with you. There's a personal relationship there, even your fans. While yes, obviously, if they've told you that they like your music, they probably like your music. But I think the personal relationship is actually even stronger than their just simple liking for this product which you put out, which is your music. So what instead you should do, rather than just blasting your link or talking about, oh yeah, we're now doing this campaign with all these cool new artists who they might not even heard of, or whose music they may have never listened to. What you should do is you should make this campaign about you and your story. Why is this a momentous occasion in your life? Why is this a period where if people support you, it's going to just completely change the trajectory of your career? Why is this a big deal for you? And how has your life been leading up to this point in time? When we're talking with our friends, we naturally vibe off of them, and we sort of get a sense of what's important to them, what makes them angry, what makes them happy. We're sort of vibing off of them and using that as an indicator of the friendship. So if I say to you, yeah, I launched this campaign last week, we got some backers, you probably take away from that this campaign is not very important to me. Because if it was, I'd probably talk differently about it. I was like, oh my gosh, so like we launched this campaign last week, got a bunch of people supporting it, like it's totally going to be this most amazing event, like I gotta show you the link. Honestly, man, like this is a defining moment. I've been working on this for so long, it is crazy, like this is insane. When I come from that level of energy, and obviously I'm faking it a little bit here because I don't have a music project, but when I come from that level of energy, you immediately assume that whatever this is that I'm talking about is important to me. And because you're my friend, or because you're a family member, it is therefore important to the relationship. So that's more of the angle that you should come from with your friends, even with your fans, and with the people who have been following your work. Your second degree connections, even in the people who care about you, your family, etc. And when you come from that angle, it's not really a marketer's angle. They're not, sort of tuning you out as another advertisement online, or they're not tuning you out as some marketer trying to push a product onto them. They're saying in their mind, oh, this is important to Marcus, or this is something that he's been doing for a while. He's my friend, I want to help him with this. It's a very different angle. That's the first thing that I want to share. And the second thing that I want to share here is when you are launching that initial campaign, I also think that there's no thought whatsoever towards momentum. And momentum is something, I've discussed a little bit in other videos, but I really want to dive a little bit more deeper into it here. When you don't have fundraising momentum within the first week of your campaign, it just sort of is a downward spiral. So first of all, when people see that no one has backed this campaign, they never want to be the first one to take action and to actually back it. They never want to be the first person to a party. And also, when you're even talking about your campaign, if you don't have momentum within the first 3 days, within the first 5 days, you almost feel embarrassed. Like when you're talking about your campaign with your friends or with other artist friends, it's almost like, yeah, I launched this campaign, I didn't get many backers, but we're pushing forward. It's like almost an embarrassment. Or like, I launched this campaign, we got a bunch of backers, like I think we're gonna finally hit our goal on this day. Like this is exciting, man. Like I really want you to be a part of this. It helps you be more energetic about what it is that you're doing when you have momentum, and it also helps other people rationalize, oh, look, other friends of Marcus are supporting this campaign. Therefore, I also want to support this campaign because he matters to me. versus, oh, none of his friends are supporting this campaign. It's probably not, just something that he's doing like a side project, maybe I'll get around to it next week or something like that. It really allows people to just rationalize why they should not take action. But those are two very key things that I wanted to share here, that in the beginning days of a music campaign, or really any kind of creative campaign, the people who are supporting you are mainly coming from your social network, and those people are going to vibe off of you to get a feeling about this new project that you're doing, and to keep in mind, be aware of that. They obviously need a little bit of hand holding. They need you to explain why this is something that's going to be meaningful to you. And even just keeping it as casual as, hey man, I've been talking like all these years about me finally doing my own band, or me finally putting out this debut album. Man, I have finally done it. Like, I've gotten my ducks in a row. I've gotten everything together. Like, it's finally here. I put up this amount of money. I'm just asking some friends to throw in a little bit of cash so we can get the thing going. It's gonna be killer. I'm gonna also be doing a concert. Like, would you be willing to be a part of this? That's a very compelling vision. But I hope that this sort of, these steps and some of these tips have been helpful for you. Way more information in our Artist Guide to Crowdfunding Domination, and also just that podcast episode. I mean, we were talking for like 40 minutes, I think, so there's a lot of information that was shared on that episode, so I will be sure to link that up in the show notes. But this is all that I want to share with this video. If you have any questions, be sure to leave a comment down below. And if you want more videos like this, be sure to hit that subscribe button. But lastly, my name is Salvador Brigman, and I'll see you next time.